Howard County is a regional and national model for promoting and protecting the green spaces that make us a beautiful, healthy community in which to live, work, play, grow, and thrive. We are committed to preserving our land, which is why, while we're also protecting our most significant environmental resources. And as a result of our collective efforts, we have nearly 63,000 acres of protected land in Howard County in the form of parks, open space, and preservation easements. This protected land is equivalent to approximately 98 square miles and more than 38% of the county's total land area. My team is focused on preserving land that provides clear agricultural, environmental, and community benefits. To date, in collaboration with our partners at the state level, we have preserved over 23,000 acres of farmland through our agricultural preservation programs alone. Just 1 year ago, we were gathered to celebrate the finalized agreement to acquire the nearly 21-acre Camp Ilchester property, preventing the loss of cherished green space and removing the potential for more than 100 residential units from future development. That progress followed the preservation of the Savage Remainder property, a valuable green space that connects to Savage Park while contributing to the quality of life of all of our residents. This property was targeted for the proposed development of approximately 35 units, but is now maintained as open space for our community. Then, we announced another bold step in conservation with our innovative land preservation partnership with local nonprofits, which became the first of its kind right here in the state of Maryland. Our purchased conservation easement pilot program provides grant funding to the Conservancy to underwrite the cost of acquisitions that protect environmentally significant land owned by nonprofits. This program was designed as a win-win for our environment and the organizations that provide fellowship for and service to our community. As evidence of our belief in the efficacy of this model, Howard County has invested $2.5 million in this pilot over the last 2 fiscal years. I'm thrilled today to share that as a result of our partnership, we have secured the first purchase conservation easement in the county's history. Here we have 62 acres of land owned by the Holy Trinity Russian Orthodox Church. This property includes 45 acres of existing forest, 32 acres of land within Howard County's green infrastructure network, and 80% of the property, nearly 50 acres, falls within a Department of Natural Resources targeted ecological area, all of which will now be permanently preserved. The conservation easement secured by the Howard County Conservancy will protect in perpetuity all 62 acres from future development or degradation, ensuring that this green space will remain for generations to come. This effort was made possible by an organization that for more than 3 decades has made environmental preservation and education its mission. It's my pleasure to also recognize the milestone in this Howard County Conservancy's history. With the acquisition of these 62 acres in easement, the Conservancy has preserved more than 2,000 total acres across our county. I would like to invite up the Executive Director, my friend, a champion for our environment, preservation, and our county, Meg Boyd, to receive a proclamation honoring this occasion. Come on up, Meg. And it reads, whereas founded in 1990 as a private nonprofit land trust, the Howard County Conservancy provides enlightening hands-on education about our natural world, serves as a model steward of our environment, and protects the land and its legacy for future generations. Whereas in 2022, the Conservancy and Howard County government joined forces to launch a first-of-its-kind land preservation program in Maryland to assist local nonprofit property owners permanently in protecting environmentally sensitive areas and preserve these significant environmental resources. And whereas Howard County government proudly joins the Howard County Conservancy, its board, staff members, supporters, and Holy Trinity Russian Orthodox Church in the celebration of the Conservancy's 2,000th acre preserved. By working together, we can continue to protect our open space, forests, and waterways, provide habitat for native plants and animals, and enhance our county's ecosystem and environmental health. Now, therefore, I, Calvin Ball, County Executive of Howard County, Maryland, do hereby proclaim June 22nd, 2023, Howard County Conservancy Day in Howard County, Maryland. How do you...
Thank you, and good morning, everyone. We need this rain, so I see everyone's still smiling. I'm so excited to be here today thank you, Calvin's taller than me, to celebrate the preservation of this beautiful property, as well as the wonderful partnership with the Holy Trinity Russian Orthodox Church. I first want to take a moment to talk about the purchased easement program, the first of the kind in its state, as Calvin mentioned, the region too, maybe the world. It's possible. Certainly a groundbreaking program. It came about because we knew there was a gap. Nonprofit property owners do not get tax benefits from a donated easement, and they often don't qualify for agricultural easements as well. Yet, they own very often environmentally significant properties like this one. So I really want to thank County Executive Ball for taking a chance and supporting this concept to find new and different ways for environmental conservation in our county. The partnership that formed with Holy Trinity was an unexpected bonus with this program. Their mission aligns with the Conservancy's. In fact, when you leave today, you'll see a sign that reads, "The earth is the Lord's and the fullness thereof," from Psalm 23. And as we worked together with Holy Trinity over the course of the last year, we learned more about their mission, which includes preserving the beauty of this property in thanksgiving to God and in tribute to its founding members. And now for the property. You heard some highlights from Dr. Ball, and you can see some of it from here, but you can't see all 45 acres of forest behind us. More than 13 of those acres are designated by the state as FIDS habitat, supporting forest interior dwelling bird species. It contains 700 feet of the Rockburn Branch, a tributary to the Patapsco River. And it also contains trails that connect major sections of Patapsco State Park. And Holy Trinity has generously allowed the use of those trails by the public for decades, connecting many thousands of people to the beauty and tranquility of our natural world. So thank you to Father John and to Vic, the Holy Trinity team, Drew, Art, Michael, and your whole congregation for your shared vision for this property. And as Dr. Ball mentioned, this easement brings the Conservancy to a milestone of 2,000 acres preserved, starting with our first conservation easement in 1992 on 20 acres on Trotter Road, to 48 other properties around the county to this easement today. And this was through the hard work and dedication of countless volunteers, board, and staff. What a fitting way to reach this milestone with such an environmentally significant easement and a wonderful partnership with the faith community. I also want to just acknowledge a few people that are here today. We have some members of the Conservancy Board that are with us. Brian Sturm, our board president, is here. Jansen Evelyn, board secretary. No, did Jonas make it? I don't see Jonas. Jacobson. Jem Takadina is here. Lou Meyer. Mark Sutherland. Hung Binding. HB. And did Andrea Lewinter make it? I'm not sure if she did. So thank you all for coming. I see some former members of the board here as well. Lots of Conservancy supporters. Thank you all for coming out. And I also want to thank and acknowledge the members of the Rockburn Land Trust, a sister land trust to the Conservancy, for the preservation work that they have done in this area for more than 30 years. Their easements in this area total an additional 200 plus acres. Combined with this property and the adjacent state park, create truly an incredible preservation area. Now, I know I've gone over my time, but I do need to also acknowledge and personally thank two mentors of mine who are here today, Ann Jones and Kathy Hudson. I have relied on their expertise and advice for many years, and I want to personally thank you for all you've done for conservation and for our community.
So first I want to say thank you, of course, to the Howard County Conservancy, specifically to Meg Boyd and Ann Jones for working with us over this last year. You may not know this, but sometimes working with a nonprofit council, we're not exactly the most efficient organization, maybe, right? But they showed fantastic leadership in helping us, guide us through the negotiation process. Certainly a lot of compassion, a lot of camaraderie in making sure we got something done that was good for the Conservancy, good for Holy Trinity, and of course good for Howard County. So thanks, Meg, thanks, Ann. It was all very helpful. Of course, I also want to thank Howard County for their visionary developments here in the easements. It takes a lot of effort to kind of think outside the box, do things. I think we all had the same objective, whether it was the county, the Conservancy, or us as the church, and to be able to work with each other to come up with a plan that really was win-win-win, I think was fantastic. So also thanks to Howard County. Fantastic. Thank you. So just a quick maybe history on us. So our church is in Baltimore City near Orleans and Broadway, and we've been there since 1919. We were founded by a lot of Russian immigrants who had fled Russia after the revolution and the oppression that was going on in Russia. And you can imagine, as first generation immigrants coming to this country, they really came with nothing but what they could carry with them. And yet one of the first things they thought was important to do was to establish a church. Many lent personal funds, took out mortgages on their homes, all to help finance the church that we have downtown now. And their sacrifice has got us really to where we are today. And if you look, they realized also early on, as one of the first Orthodox churches in Baltimore, that we needed a cemetery and we needed somewhere where we could have our ancestors rest in peace, somewhere where we could come and honor them. And so they went and purchased some beautiful land for us to honor our ancestors. Now, unfortunately, BWI also liked that property, and so we had to relocate in the early 40s. Our original cemetery was out there by the airport, or at the airport, under the airport. And so we have since relocated to here, to Cathedral Gardens. And so we've been here since about 1947. And if you look around, I mean, this really is a beautiful area that we have here. We, as the church, love having the peacefulness, the calm, the serenity that we can get here, minus maybe the I-95 noises now and again. But it's something we truly treasure, and we can think of no better way to honor the sacrifice that all of our ancestors made in coming here, in starting this church, in starting this cemetery, than by making sure this property stays as beautiful as it is and used as it was intended to be used forever moving forward. So we thank again the county, we thank the Conservancy for really making this something that all our future generations can make sure we can all enjoy. So thank you, everybody.
It is a pleasure and honor to be here on behalf of my fellow board members, staff, and the many volunteers who give of their time. Henry David Thoreau, when he in Walden, noted, "We can never have enough of nature. We must be refreshed by the sight of an inexhaustible vigor, vast and titanic features, the wilderness with its living and its decaying trees, the thundercloud and the rain. We need to witness our own limits transgressed and some life pasturing freely where we never wander." 3 years ago, the Conservancy celebrated its 30th anniversary. The Conservancy's original mission was one of stewardship, specifically preserving land through conservation easements. While the mission of the Conservancy has expanded to include education of the natural world, the responsible stewardship and protecting of green spaces is central. With the Holy Trinity Church easement, the Conservancy now has 2,000 acres of permanent conservation easement throughout Howard County. Less than a year ago, the Ball administration announced a new land conservation program in partnership with the Conservancy that is the first of its kind in the state of Maryland. County Executive Calvin Ball committed $2 million towards this pilot program to specifically target nonprofit property owners and provide the appropriate incentives to preserve environmentally significant properties permanently. It's important to remember that this helps previously ineligible properties now have the option of land preservation as a deciding factor. Howard County continues to be a fast-growing jurisdiction for good reason. Yet, even as we grapple with the need for placemaking and the housing shortage, we must ignore the false binary that pits habitat and places for humans versus the preservation of wild spaces. It is a both and proposition, simultaneously making sure that we and our children have the ability to experience the classroom that is nature, to hear the earth whisper its wisdom, or to develop what Leah Pennyman noted in Black Earth Wisdom, our mother wit, or our nature swagger. When this program was announced in July 2022, the county executive noted, "If the right tools don't exist, we must build them." County Executive Ball and staff that have worked tirelessly on this, thank you for providing and building the right tools. As I end, I remember how Dr. George Washington Carver noted, "How do I talk to a little flower? Through it I talk to the infinite." And what is the infinite? It is that silent, small force, that still small voice. In this place, may future generations learn a bit about the sacredness of wild places. In this place, may they remember the art of listening to the earth, for it tells the story of the indigenous peoples whose land we are on. It remembers the injustices, the cries of oppression, so we must not forget, and the hopes, dreams, and sacrifices of the Russian immigrants who purchased Cathedral Gardens. But it also tells us what path to go. May the flowers, native perennials of course, join us in telling us which way to go, refreshing us and influencing bold, visionary leadership like the one we have today, and shaping sound public policy like this. Thank you.